A recent poll on Twitter made me a little upset. I could care less what games Bethesda makes. What I do care about is when games are exclusive. I'm not one that would outright reject exclusives, but I think it would be justified when a development team like Bethesda gets bought out. And there's potential for any further releases to only be available exclusively on one platform. To clear things out, a video game exclusive is when a game is only available for one device or platform. Any major Mario game is only available on a Nintendo console. Any Uncharted game is only available on a PlayStation console, and so on. I can't really be upset when a game like Jak and Daxter, Uncharted, Halo, or Mario are stuck on their respective consoles. But it does make me a little unnerved to think that there could be a number of games that could potentially be stuck in a digital graveyard. Yes, I know there are emulators, but to this day the PS3 has not been fully emulated, and even some games for the SNES titles like Aladdin don't quite work the right way. I'm not justifying piracy here, but rather abandonware. If the game is no longer being supported or sold, it's typically abandonware. Exclusives aren't a bad thing at first, but we only think about the big titles. We don't really think about the smaller exclusive titles that were made for one platform, because that's all the developers could do. So what would I prefer? Well, if anything, I would prefer timed exclusives. I know people have been trashing Epic Games for doing this exact thing, and I don't fully back their underhanded practices. But it would be great if other console exclusives were timed and did get proper ports to PC or even to another console. Waiting a year or two for a game to be ported is kind of fine for me, more so if it's a single player game. It still benefits the console or platform, while at the same time it shouldn't upset those who want the game to only be on one platform. I just don't understand the selfish idea of keeping a game in one place. If the game is that special to you, don't you want more people to play it? You can't expect everyone to get a PC, an Xbox, or another console to play the same game. Why would someone spend $600 just to play one game? That's basically what you're asking when you want the game to be exclusive. I understand justifying your purchase of a $500 or $600 machine. You bought it, you expect experiences that you can't get anywhere else. What I don't understand is wanting a game to live and die on that one device. Exclusives only benefit the publisher and not so much the developer. A full-fledged AAA game is going to sell more copies across multiple platforms than if it was an exclusive. There's not really a way to deny that. It's not to say that an exclusive doesn't make money, but rather it makes less money than games that are not exclusive. I don't expect Mario games to be ported to PC or even PlayStation, but that's because Nintendo is still making consoles. And for the most part, they're doing a decent job to move games over to the new device. They're not perfect, and some games have been removed, hopefully temporarily, but we won't really know. At least from a preservation point of view, I don't want to see certain games stop existing, even if they're nothing special or just bad. You can find people online who make a living covering bad games, so there's still entertainment there. There's also backstory to why a game did get so bad. But there's also gems that are lost in the sands of time because they never got a proper port. It's not impossible for an old game like Crash or Spyro to be re-released, but to wait literal decades for it to occur is just too long. There's one game in particular I've been wanting to play, Stuntman, which was made primarily for the PS2 and for, I believe, a handheld console, but it never got a PC release. And even on the emulator, the Stuntman game doesn't actually work right because of some AI pathing. And just to having to wait for this long to get a game to come back to a playable state just isn't the right way. I do think that these games should be preserved, and that there should be more ways to play the game once they do reach their end of life, or once they are no longer being supported by the original developers. In any case, that's all I have to say. I am Mr. Rain, and thank you for watching.